So I'm about ready to go out. It's St. Patty's Day today, and I wake up to an email. And usually I don't, on my weekends, off there my weekends, and I don't usually try to intermix. But my gut feeling sometimes says just double check because I do have some teens that have my cell number. And of course, they're my work cell. So I check them, and I have a few part of the requirements, especially like I've done a video before of suicidal ideations or kind of been at their peak where they're just tired, and they think that out uh, means just to end it all, and then they get it restart. So they're kind of in the mix of concrete and abstract, even though they know what death is. For some, I'm not quite sure if it's a cognitive illusion or it's still transferring over as a developmental phase, going from concrete to full abstract, which is typical. It takes 3 or 4 years for a full transformation anyways, and our brain don't fully seal till it's 25. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some roller coasters on that one. But a lot of research has to catch up with that. But that was a side note. But as part of that, anyways, I check my cell phones because a couple of them right now are on check on duty. So they have to check in with me at least once a day. And I tell them I check in on morning and night on my cell. And that's just part of it. All they have to do is give me an emoji. They have to just do something because that's their check-in. That I know that they're still there. They're still breathing. If not, then I send a whole bunch of people and it can make quite a scene. And I'd rather just not us. Let's just keep the spotlight off of us. That's kind of what we do. So anyway, so I got this email this morning, and I just got this family about 4 weeks ago. And basically it was the scapegoats, or what they call the identified patient, is always the symptom, the major symptom, because they're the ones who's rebucking it, and they get blamed for everything. And so anyways, long story short, I get this email that this mom's like really upset that please talk to my son. I encouraged him to talk to you, that apparently he has been only accepting of my husband, his stepdad, for the last 8 years that we've been together. And now let me just tell you a little bit about that, is because, she said that he's been accepting that he's never liked him all along, and that he didn't even want him around. And so there's the backstory. This mom, she tells me she's a full-blown alcoholic. She likes to go out and party, drink, doesn't want to, stop her party time. Had met her husband of current. 3 months later, they got married. And 2 weeks after that, they moved in together. And the first meeting that her son, at the age of 8, was when he was moving into his room. That's the introduction she gave to this stepdad. And now she's surprised, saying I'm doing a mommy thing, and he's been telling me he hasn't liked him since the beginning. He has only accepted him because he didn't want to make me, as his mom, feel bad. A million things are going through my head at this point. Mom, what the hell's wrong with you? That's the first thought. And that was just that's the humanity part of me. The therapist, I'm going, you served the man you said you loved on a trash can. You didn't even include your son, his opinion. And now you want to include your son's opinion when you're having marital problems. The therapist is telling me we're triangulating and you're looking for recruitments. The lady inside me saying, get off the alcohol, tune in, and stay out from gathering enforcements. You're reaching out to people. I'm glad you reached out to me, but I wonder how many others did you reach out that you got some advice immediately because you need to offload this on somebody. And that's the female part of me. The mother part of me is, why did you get involved with a man? And why did you let that man get involved with you, marry you, and move in without meeting and gathering some information, as well as building a bond with your son? That's the mom in me. that's also the female in me, and the omega in me. I'm not quite sure. I just started this family. So if this is where it gets offloaded on me at the beginning, usually it takes a while for people to start giving me some of the hidden closet space. At this level is usually the crisis that I see in other families that take me about 6 months to get into. Sometimes 3. It depends on when they're ready to, when they've hit their rock bottom. But this one's just starting. So I can only imagine what's on the back end. Their crisis must look like a volcano, and no wonder. So I'll be reaching out, of course, but I've got to be cautious because this kid, he's a teenager. Number one, he's just coming into he's quite young, but he's a teen, yet alone, and he's doesn't like a lot of spotlight on him. However, he was a star sport player in multiple sports. So this is going to be challenging because I don't know really if he's going to want to trust me, because no matter who he speaks to, they're using him, and it's either for his sportsmanship, his just they're using him for his well, they don't include him. They just use, whether it's for attention, for space, for recruitment, to back them up, or for the spotlight, for some award. But nobody actually includes him for him. And those are the most challenging ones for me. And usually I end up getting a parent a little upset with me, quite upset with me, because he has to have a voice. And when he starts exerting his voice, they're not gonna be able to control him in the way that you should control. And when I say control, is not like he's going to lose it and blow up shops. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's going to have a very clear idea of who he is and what he wants to do. And when you, as a manipulator or a parent or a recruiter or whoever else wants to come in, he's going to discern, is this going to be the best possible solution for me in where I fit in? And he may walk, which doesn't do good for some of the people that are going to make money from him, or that are going to help them enlist with fighting against another person to gain what they want, and using him as the scapegoat. I'm thinking that's kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm making this video because it's St. Patty's Day. This year's been weird. Last year too. Usually the peak holidays that cause crises or breakdowns, and I have a feeling this one's, the marriage is breaking down and she's got to have a recruitment so she can use it as an excuse to get out, and not own her own stuff, that she wants to go out and party and be a party girl while the stepdad takes care of the kid, and raises that's kind of where I'm getting it. But she needs to blame somebody instead of taking accountability for herself. I think, I'm not sure, but the point is these teens, they have a voice, and the holidays are usually when people gather, families, and they talk. And if that's the only time that you spend getting your family's viewpoints on things, or communicating healthy, listen to them, communicate back to them. If it's the only thing that you do, it is when you're wanting to recruit somebody to be your ally against a third party or whoever else, or it's only during the holidays, then the relationship, the breakdown, is you. And being a mom and a female. You should bring more than that. Happy St. Patty's Day.